pretty much the slide says it all, and I could probably just end it right here. Local doesn't scale, so if we want to have local journalism, we need to have independent local news outlets all over the country. People do what I do at TucsonSentinel.com, and all the members of Wheaton Publishers, local independent online news publishers, are trying to rebuild local news. We have legacy media leaving giant gaping holes all over the place. We all know this. Everybody, even those of you in this room who work for those outlets are aware of what's going on, and you see your colleagues keep being laid off. Some of you have been laid off. I got laid off. That's why I'm doing this. And Wheaton Publishers is a national group of about 140 members running about 150 to 160 websites around the country. For-profit, non-profit. I run TucsonSentinel.com, just a little bit south of here. And by the way, welcome to Arizona. Despite what you heard earlier, we're not all armed here, just about 45% of us. TucsonSentinel.com is, we focus on investigative work, digging politics, public policy. We blatantly ripped off our slogan from the Texas Tribune, as you can see here. And thanks for that, you guys. And Wheaton Publishers is a group that a bunch of us came together and started at an event kind of like this that was focused on local independent news, and decided that we needed to formalize an organization that would work together. And this is really, right here, why we do the work that we do. Freedom. We don't have to be on those corporate conference calls anymore. We don't have to listen to, corporate priorities that have nothing to do with our communities. I mean, we've all been on those things where there's the latest project, and I think that is one of the major pitfalls of legacy, heritage, fossil media, and how much longer is this stuff going to be around in the way that it has been? Something needs to change. And something happened to the dinosaurs. It may have been a comet. It may have all changed in a flash. We can blame the internet, or we can acknowledge that there were a whole lot more missteps that were made along the way as chain media lost the connection with their communities. And people think that I'm the guy who just wants to blow up the whole system, and we need to have everything be online and new and fresh. And I've got a pretty deep, long family legacy of local journalism, and it's really very meaningful to me. This ring that I wear every day is my grandfather's Sigma Delta Chi ring. He was an editor and publisher. His father before him was an editor and publisher of the Wheaton Daily Journal. He started, my great-grandfather, right out of high school in 1900, became a reporter. So doing good local journalism and figuring out how to keep doing it and keep paying reporters to be able to do it everywhere, all over the country, is something that means a hell of a lot to me. And I want to hopefully get some input from you guys as we're here about how we can make this work a little bit better. And it's not just me, all the members of Wheaton Publishers who are somehow relying on me to come up with an answer over the next couple days about how they can keep their doors open next month, because this really is a tough business to jump into. But one of our fundamentals, almost a mantra, is that local doesn't scale. That one of the fundamental missteps has been for giant chain corporations to try and reproduce the same template over and over and over and over again, that somehow the same sort of news, looking the same, structured the same reporting priorities, done the same way, will work in Maine as will work here in Arizona. And we know that's not the case. Figuring out how to do that is pretty hard work. That's a reason I wear work boots every day, not just because they're comfortable, but again, a little bit of a symbol to me that what we do is not just a profession, not just a business. It's a craft, it's work. And as I was saying, there's no perfect template to do this. Every community is different. You have people with different information needs. You have a different set of competitors, and you need to figure out what isn't getting done and how to fill those gaps. And really, I think the most important thing, to try and rebuild that connection so that we can get rid of the fake news, that people will trust us again and maybe pay us again, is that Local news needs to be invested in its community, invested in the success of its community, and not just trying to pull profits, not just throwing money on pallets onto the back of the same trucks to bring the paper in and shipping it out of town. Thank you very much.